Hey, what's up, Madridistas? I just wanted to quickly make this video talking about the Trent signing to Real Madrid. This is very good news for Real Madrid because Trent is a generational fullback. Getting a guy like that for free at your football club, there's no team in Europe who would not take Trent for free. I've seen some comments from Real Madrid fans saying he's not the most solid defensively, but what he offers you going forward, what he offers you on the ball is generational. And that's why, as Real Madrid fans, we should be very excited and happy about the signing because a lot of the teams, especially in La Liga, they just sit in a deep block and they don't try to attack us. They just try to defend with numbers. Now, imagine giving Trent the ball. This is a guy who can create so many goal-scoring opportunities for you, not to mention his passing in transition. I'm just thinking of how much our offense is going to benefit from having a guy like this on the team. This season, Slot has played him in a little bit of a deeper role. He's played him as a more traditional right back. He's asked him to be a little bit more disciplined. And the numbers reflect that Trent has been very good defensively this season. So this whole thing about Trent being a really bad defender, a 1v1 defender, there is something to that. He's not Danny Carvajal when it comes to 1v1 defending, but a lot of that is overblown with the fact that under Jurgen Klopp, Trent's focus was really to create goal-scoring opportunities. He was playing almost like a right winger at times because of how Klopp's system was designed. But for Real Madrid, especially if we get Xabi Alonso this summer, Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen side has over 60% possession as an average, which is the top 5 of any teams in Europe. Xabi Alonso really likes his teams to control the ball and have more possession. So imagine Real Madrid next season being less of a vertical side, which Carlo Ancelotti tried to institute this season, but rather next season being a little bit more of a possession-oriented team and having the likes of Trent on the ball, whipping passes to the back post, playing Kylian Mbappe through whenever there's a transition opportunity, so on and so on. This guy is truly generational. Real Madrid fans, I should say, should be celebrating this because Trent is truly an incredible talent. Now, one of the things that Trent is going to be leaving Liverpool with is he's set the record in the Premier League for the most assists of any fullback at the age of 26. This is not a guy who's leaving the Premier League, at the age of 34 setting these records. This is a guy who's already won the Champions League. This is a guy who's won the league. So again, a guy who has the pedigree, a guy who's done it at the highest levels, a guy who has been a part of championship winning teams. So it's not just about the talent because the talent is a piece of it. But you really need guys who have that strength mentally, who's going to ultimately win you those games when you're in the trenches. He's obviously part of that Liverpool side that beat Barcelona. They made that incredible comeback in Anfield. And he had that assist off the corner kick to Origi. To me, one of the things I love about Real Madrid is they don't just try to recruit the best talent in the world. They try to recruit the players with the strongest mentality. Trent has talked about wanting to one day potentially win the Ballon d'Or. Now, how realistic is it for a fullback to win the Ballon d'Or? That's a whole separate conversation. But you want guys playing for your football club who have that kind of mentality. I love Trent's mentality, not just his ability on the ball, but the fact that he's a serial winner, that he doesn't just take defeats on the chin and he's out there shaking people's hands when he's losing big matches. This is a guy who hates to lose. This is a serial winner. And the fact that he's joining Real Madrid when Liverpool is his childhood club, that he came up through Liverpool. He spent 20 years at the club. He joined them when he was 6 years old. Should tell you everything you need to know about Trent. He has one thing in the back of his mind, and that's to win titles, to win La Liga, to win the Champions League, to win big trophies at Real Madrid. This is a step in the right direction for Real Madrid. The summer rebuild commences. It starts with Trent, and what an incredible name to start this entire rebuild for the summer of 2025. But obviously, it doesn't just end with Trent. You need much more. You need the likes of Dean Huijsen. I've been seeing more and more reports about us trying to go for William Saliba. Honestly, I don't know where these reports are coming from. Obviously, L'Equipe is a very reliable and trusted source. They don't just put bullshit out there. But how realistic is it that Real Madrid is actually going to get Saliba? The guy just signed a contract extension. How is it that Real Madrid is going to pay, 100 million euros to get Saliba? There's no doubt that Saliba is one of the best center backs in the world. There's zero doubt about that. But we know Real Madrid is not going to drop 100 million on a center back. This is just not going to happen. This is not the way Real Madrid operates. But you do need a leader who's going to be your center back going forward into the next couple of years. Obviously, Saliba is an incredible talent, but Dean Huijsen looks like a much more realistic option because of his release clause, which is only about 60 million euros. But aside from that, Real Madrid also needs a left back. We need a center midfielder. And then we're done. And then the team is well constructed as it is. It's just a few pieces, mostly in defense. But a left back is the number one priority after this Trent deal is finalized, because I'm sorry, we cannot go into next season with Fran and Ferland Mendy. Those two guys no longer good enough. I would honestly terminate both contracts. I've seen us linked with Theo Hernandez. I love Theo Hernandez. I think he would be a great addition to Real Madrid. I've seen us linked with Miguel Gutierrez. That's another really good option. From what I've seen, it seems like Xabi Alonso would like to keep Fran as a backup option for next season and potentially get another left back. More than likely, it's going to be a Theo Hernandez. It sounds like his contract expires next year at the summer of 2026. So could he be convinced, a former Real Madrid player who knows what it's like to play at the Bernabeu, be convinced to come to Real Madrid? I've seen reports that his agent actually reached out to Real Madrid when we were finalizing the Kylian Mbappe deal, and he said to Real Madrid, hey, my player is available and would like to sign for you if you guys are interested. At the time, it didn't seem like the timing was right. Ferland Mendy had a really good season last year, but again, this season, injuries has been the issue with Ferland Mendy over his entire time at Real Madrid. Very solid defensive fullback. He's not a bad player. He gets a really bad rep because he doesn't contribute as much in the attacking third, but I think that's also comes down to the fact that Carlo Ancelotti has not asked him to contribute in the attacking third. But having a guy like Theo Hernandez would be such a valuable addition to Real Madrid's attack. Now just picture Real Madrid next season with both him and Trent at the fullbacks for Real Madrid. That's a huge upgrade from where we were. Now, if you look at the teams that we've struggled with this season, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, these are sides where they sat in deep blocks. They denied us a lot of space. The opening game against Mallorca, where they had literally 10, 11 players behind the ball, that's where players like this, they're really going to help contribute in a significant way. Having a guy like Trent to unlock those deep blocks. Having a guy like Theo making those runs in behind. The only thing that's going to be really an issue for Real Madrid next season, because obviously the Xabi Alonso thing looks like it's all but finalized, is being too arrogant in the transfer market and trying to not sign anybody because you don't get the guy that you want. Last summer, we tried to get Euro. The deal fell apart because Manchester United offered him 4 times what Real Madrid is willing to offer him. And obviously Real Madrid said, hey, look, we don't get into bidding wars. This isn't the old Real Madrid where we're just going to outpay Manchester United. I support that, right? We don't want to just be the club that goes out there and doesn't dictate terms and just accepts whatever potential players want from Real Madrid. But at the same time, Real Madrid needs to have that ability to go into the transfer market, get some of those best players in the world, and pay a little bit extra to get them. Especially when you have guys who want to be a part of this project, who want to be a part of this club. You missed the boat on Saliba, obviously, because that would have been something you had to do last summer. But let's not miss the boat again. I've seen us linked with different players. Jonathan Tah, hopefully I'm saying that right, the German center back who plays for Bayer Leverkusen. Apparently, he's going to come to Real Madrid if Xabi Alonso comes with him as well. Again, a pretty good center back, but not really a Real Madrid quality center back. This cannot be a situation where a few years ago when we lost Claude Makelele and then we brought in David Beckham, that was a huge error because as soon as Makelele left Real Madrid, our entire defensive structure collapsed. We have the best attackers in the world now. We have Kylian Mbappe, we have Vinicius, we have Rodrigo, we have Arda Güler, who's an incredible talent now, Jude Bellingham, obviously, but the whole thing is it needs to be built from the back as well. You need to have the best defense, not just the best attack. Huge step in the right direction getting Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm really excited and happy about getting him as a Real Madrid player because I know having Trent means potentially an extra 20 goals next season, which could make a huge difference for Real Madrid. Let me know, do you guys feel as excited and happy as me that we finalized this Trent deal, or would you guys like to have seen potentially somebody different? And who else do you guys think we should go after in the transfer window this summer? Let me know. Thank you, and Hala Madrid.